I've chosen a slower method of delivery.
Yes, I see what you mean. So you're saying, why draw out the process when you're longing for a Big Mac?
Also, I get so angry if it's not responsive enough to my touch.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like I have to talk to someone. This is just not working. I start losing it. So if I went knuckle, I know I wouldn't last a minute. So I go finger, and then I can see myself speeding past all the knuckle dragons that there are. All the Asians
like dashing it and getting angry and shaking it. I'm looking at your face at the moment, Simran, and you have a very nice face, but it's giving me an idea. The end of the nose, arguably, has a very similar skin texture to a finger. So maybe the answer is for me to move from the knuckle and start pressing with my nose. Maybe that's the answer. That way, I'm not getting COVID on my fingers, or COVID, whichever it is.
Okay, the networks are down, the equipment is ready, and we've crippled their supplies. Mrs. Rackman has written...
I worry. You press your nose against that screen.
My face finger.
But you press it, you see a burger that you like, and you whip it out, but actually accidentally kiss it.
That'll make it, but like you love the Big Mac too much.
You end up like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. You got carried away there.
Ronald McDonald coming out saying, well, thank you, we appreciate the compliment, it's good you like our food, but please leave. Yeah, please leave. So actually, let's find out, okay? Are you a knuckle tapper? Are you a finger presser? Let's find out. You can contact the show on hello@myfavouriteTakeawayPodcast.com, or you can follow us on Instagram on myfavouriteTakeawayPod. Let's find out. Do you tap? Do you push? Let's get this sorted once for all. And broader, what do you feel about these big screens? Are you for or against? I want to hear from you. And thank you so much, as always, for getting in contact. And please, we haven't mentioned this for a while, please do leave us a 5-star review and also spread the word, because it makes such a difference to the show. I cannot tell you the difference kind reviews make to this show and to the guests that we can get in the future. And we have a fantastic guest on today, just one of the best. This is literally one of my favourite episodes we've ever recorded. I really mean this. Who is it, Sim?
We have probably one of the funniest people in the UK, Sean Walsh, who is got strong views, goes into detail, is passionate. I love it. He was so funny. I couldn't believe the conversation we were having at times. It was great. Sean is on tour starting September, and you can get tickets at SeanWalsh.com. And he's also got a couple of podcasts.
He has a podcast called Oh My Dog with Jack D, which is a podcast for people who love dogs. And he also has a podcast called What's Upset You Now with a hilarious Paul McCaffrey, where comedians come on and discuss the things that are annoying them most in the world at this exact moment. And it lasts 15 minutes every episode. Both of them are brilliant. If you're a dog or you're annoyed about things in life in general, either of those podcasts will serve you well. Here is the wonderful Sean Walsh. Sean, thanks very much. Your dinner has already arrived, right?
It has, thank you. Yes, splendid. I've served it, it's ready, it's in the plate, it's ready to go.
Can you show us the plate? And also, because it's a podcast, can you describe the plate?
I thought you were going to do that, and that's why I was showing it to you.
That's exactly what I was planning on doing. Great.
Have you guys either done this before or met? Right, so do you want to point it out, or do I?
You take us through it. You're closest to it.
We've got chicken madras. Today I've gone for plain rice. That's the only thing I really mix up in my Indian takeaways as I go, should I go for pilau or should I go for plain? Today I've got for plain.
Yeah.
Plain naan, vegetable samosa, and some sagaloo. In my older age, I've actually started tipping a bit of the salad into the main.
Wow.
So yeah, exactly. Big stuff.
Okay, hear me out.
So Sean, my first observation on this, right?
Fine, can I eat? Sorry.
Yeah. Eat. Only go for it.
Right, so just a pot, because I thought this was my dinner.
There's a certain obligation for you to chip in occasionally as well, right? We have paid for that. I mean, on camera, enjoy your meal.
I thought instead of just get to listen to a podcast, I'll start having chicken madras. What a shame! You had on. I'm very self-conscious about about eating on the podcast as well?
I'd say every single guest is I've got to say eating on the podcast.
James Acaster described it as a fundamental flaw in the idea, but what did he know, to be honest? What did he know about food podcasts?
Didn't Ed Gamble say the problem is split attention, it's just not going to work?
So, wrong, but they've both been on, so we'll pull them.
Sean, the first thing I want to say is that you put every ingredient onto that, you put them all onto the plate. So you've got your rice and you've got your curry, you've got a samosa there, and you've got a salad, and you've got your naan. Is that right?
Well, hang on, what are you using? You've got a saucer or a side dish. This is perfectly normal. What do you
See, I don't think it is that normal.
You know something being normal doesn't depend on whether or not you use it. That's not how normal works.
I thought you might say that, and actually, I completely disagree.
Okay, fine, right.
I think I'm the average everyman. Right? You can hear it inside of my voice. So I think what I do is normal. And what I was saying, when I unload a takeaway and I put it on the kitchen table or kitchen counter,
Yeah.
I'm just taking the bits that I want to eat then and there, putting it on a plate. So I'll take out the curry and the naan and then go and eat that, and then I might come back for some rice, or I might come back for something else.
So I would probably strike a middle ground here. I agree with what you're saying, Sid. What I would do is I would have the samosa on its own beforehand. For me, the samosa is clearly a starter. It doesn't go with the other bits.
Of course, you have a starter at home. If we were in the restaurant, then I would understand. You are cold-faced lying.
Well, sure, it's more than that. It's deeper than that. I will even have 3 courses. I will have poppadoms dips, then I will move on to what is clearly the starter, which in this case is the samosa, and anyone with a sound mind can see that. And then you move on to the main course, which is the curry. Let's say you have a Chinese. Would you not have spring rolls to begin with on their own, for example?
No!
No, you see, sure, you see you're piling the spring rolls onto your mains.
It's a takeaway. We're at home. The bags out, the plates around, hot, possibly the pot after that pot. You're not eating with royalty. What are you talking about?
But you can fool yourself that the theatre of it is correct, that you are in it. For a moment you go, well, this is how I eat it in a restaurant. I might as well.
This is absolute. I did not expect to hear this madness.
What Sean has done, which I think solves one of our problems, especially a problem that I have, and no doubt obviously everyone else in the country would have, is that Sean doesn't need to keep going back and forth into the kitchen to reload, because he's got it all there.
Well, guys, something interesting about me, dare I say it, is I always leave myself second. So even if the takeaway is small, I will always leave myself second, give myself the pleasure of finishing and remembering, even though I know because I forget so still it's a game with yourself, that there is more.
Interesting. Yeah.
Isn't that a lovely feeling? There is more.
Well, you can also achieve that by having starters and then a main course.
But the problem that you've got there, right, is that if you've got a starter, that's very disciplined. Too disciplined to go, I'm just going to have this bit, and I'm not going to have that bit yet. That's too much discipline involved. The reason that you've ordered a takeaway on most occasions, maybe not most occasions, but a lot of occasions, is because you are starving and you can't be bothered to cook. So where are you getting all this self? Are you meditating wellness? Yoga retreats? What are you doing now?
What can I do for you?
I go away to Tibet for a week before
Okay, I'll get you out of trouble. No problem.
for 700 hours.
Great, are you not, if I take your starter thing, having the starter separately,
Which I always do.
okay, if I've unloaded a Chinese or an Indian and there's a samosa there, or there's a spring roll, I might have that at the counter or on the table.
Sorry, again, I've got to interrupt again, because you're the man, you said that you are one representing the kind of everyman normality. I've got to say, I've been alive for 37 years now. I'm not sure how comfortable I am with repetition of the word counter. What are you talking about? Counter?
I don't think I know what counter means.
I'm talking about the side, on the side.
The side, what do you mean the side?
The side, no, Sean's right, it is the side.
The side of what?
The kitchen side.
The kitchen side.
The kitchen side.
Yes. Sorry, do you have a house? Do you live somewhere? Or you just outside and you've never heard about how the side? Everywhere, everyone has a side. You say, leave it on the side. Where is it? On the side. I left it on the side. It's not on the side. The side of the horse. side. No, not the hallway, it's on the kitchen side.
Oh, I'd say things like left counter, right counter. It's very straightforward.
Right counter.
Right counter.
I take a photo of me that way, that's my bad counter.
Yeah, for God's sake, that's not counter. It's so obvious. It's not counter.
Oh, come on, Tom. Whose counter are you on anyway?
Oh, God, this is counter-splaying conversation.
I've got a different word. You used the word, Simran, you used the word also unloading a takeaway. It's like you're a delivery man. What is that?
Do you know what? I heard that. I thought, oh, look, you have that. Absolutely right. Unloading. Where is it? In the dishwasher? Oh my God.
So Sean, I'm quite interested, I think. So you say you eat yourself second. So would that be whatever it is? Let's say you'll have burger and chips.
Well, burger and chips is harder, but yes, there will be some leftover chips. Yeah, and if it can be left over, always.
So how do you sort when you run out of stuff and you want more? Are you the kind of person when you could order a takeaway that you would order again?
Yeah. I've actually, I mean, I don't know if this, I'm not remember actual specifics, but I've definitely ordered 2 Nando's in a day.
You've gone back to the same takeaway twice.
Yeah.
Have you gone with a different level when you've returned, or have you just gone with exactly the same order?
No, I think it's the same order.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I'm delivering on the app, it's just reorder.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, I mean, it was good. I would have been very hungover, but I didn't have to make the choice again. It was just, I'll just do the same one again.
I find that button a bit depressing. The fact, the sort of monotony of life that is there. It doesn't you click and go same again. Yeah. Or do you want to feel something different, or do you want to just click this button and do exactly the same? Great, nothing that was yesterday. So Sean, so you're eating this curry. I was going to say, very quickly, you're eating it from a plate at a table at the moment. So how do you normally eat a takeaway? What's the vibe in your house when you've got takeaway?
So takeaway, is this normal? I put it to you. Once you and your other half agree on taking, and there's that relief, there's that wonderful relief that you don't do that. Whoever orders it, even though we're now just in Appland and you're not having to talk to anyone, whoever orders it, that means that the other person has to answer the door.
Right, yeah.
Am I on covered ground?
My situation would be that I order all takeaways for us. If my girlfriend hasn't got Deliveroo or whatever we agree on her phone, simply to my wife. Sorry, which one? My girlfriend. One of us gets it from the door, the other one has to get the plate in the kitchen. So that's the deal, and
yes, exactly. Yes, and you come back with the plate to there. And the best thing about the takeaway, which I really love, is that it comes with the bin. The takeaway bag is the bin.
Yes. But people forget that all the time. Shove it all back in that bag. Shove that bag in that bin.
It's a bag, it was a bag, it's now a bin. That is amazing. Look how it's done it. So yeah, all the containers are the bin. I love that. But what I'll do, like you say, stand around the side. Okay, and yes, it's part of each other containers. You have that bit, I have that bit. We fill the plate. And now, what I've tried to do in recent times with the missus is actually now do it around the table.
Do you?
But that's a very yeah.
And was that happened organically? Was that an active decision to eat around the table a bit more? So you should do that.
Yes.
Were you like?
No, it was a decision.
And are you making it romantic? You lighting a candle, put a bottle of wine there? Are you changing the lights?
I make it really romantic actually for her, is I bring around another man for her. As in the... She was a lovely time. I'm really subconscious about this. You know what I'm doing? I'm trying to get the food. Do you do this when you're eating with someone that that isn't a close friend? Doesn't matter if it's a close friend. But maybe even if you've ever, if you work in an industry where you end up having to have lunch with people you don't know that well, and then you keep on having to try and wait for the other person to be talking, so you can quickly get them in your mouth.
That was Sean perfectly putting in their piece of curry in his mouth snake to disrupt further conversation.
Also, what a way to find out we're not close friends. Alright, mate, well done. Absolute bullet through the heart. 20 minutes in, bottom of the shot. Too bad you deal with the rest of it. This guy hates me.
Oh my god, sorry.
Just to the bag and the bin thing, because I agree that is what you should do, but quite often I rip open the bag to get the stuff out, and then I've destroyed my future receptacle.
If you're the irony is you're running a takeaway podcast, you're really doing this all wrong.
Are you saying you got so excited to open that takeaway that you don't rip the bag and sort of lay it and then just sort of lay it all out there?
No, in the same way I don't just kick the shit out of my cupboard and break the cupboard. You're just like, well, I wouldn't do that to a bin. You're just breaking a bin.
It's not actually a bin, is it?
But you're getting into a big philosophical point. It is a bin. If you're chucking something away in it, it is a bin. You can't tell me it's not a bin. I was once a bin. Can I tell you about the time I was once a bin? I was genuinely once a bin. And actually, just to, I've only just remembered this, I wasn't kind of setting myself up to say this. This does involve samosas.
Oh, perfect.
I love eating at night. Are you with me?
I'm with you. Well, how late?
Okay, Tom. Dad-like question.
No, I'm not going to sort of keep yourself slim, don't eat after 7 cents. I mean, what do you eat by night? 2 in the morning or 10?
It can be, well, I stay up quite late, but really I would love a little just chipping away at some cheese at 1 in the morning.
Okay, well, that's the last thing you should be eating at night, Sean. How many ways to dream? Famously.
I know you're right, but I think you just love eating the food at night. It's a real guilty pleasure.
Are you getting out of bed to do that, or are you still up?
Oh, here we go. So, I sometimes can't get to sleep because I'm so hungry.
Okay, those guys were super impressed. Word's gonna spread fast.
And I can't get to sleep because of how hungry I am. I'm so tired, but I can't get to sleep because I'm so hungry. I've got to get up, and I've got to eat something to get to sleep. So I got up. And all that was left was one of those kind of, I don't know what, probably Marks and Spencer's or something, but they're like the sides of an Indian side, so bhajis and samosas. And I put them in the oven for 12 minutes, so I can just stand there leaning on the counter. And I wait for them to cook.
They're called Indian counters, by the way, just to
So, put the food on a plate, take the food into my bed, and I eat a couple of the samosas and a couple of bhajis. Now, surprisingly, this doesn't normally happen. For some reason, I became immediately stuffed. Normally I can eat, I'm really telling, I will finish everything, it's fine. I just couldn't eat anymore. So I went to put the plate on the floor, but I'd just got my dog mildew barren, so I couldn't put the bhajis and the samosas on the floor. Because, it would poison her. But I really cannot get across how tired I was. So the only thing I could do was kind of stuff this food into my mouth, but it wasn't eating. It wasn't eating. I was chucking the food away, but in me. And I realised, it was a really bleak moment where I realised I'm a bin. Have you ever been a bin?
Yeah, that's a no.
Imagine shoving a mango chutney pot in your mouth.
It's the whole thing. The kids just shoving them down in the seat. Yeah, you did. You committed to it.
No, this is not a problem. I don't know why I'm asking. It's not an issue in my life, but can you not give a dog onion bhajis?
If you're not sure, you're not going to, are you?
No, that's a good point. It's not as useful as don't give a pigeon or bread or anything, is it? It doesn't come up as much. Don't give a dog onion bhajis. It's useful, nonetheless, it's useful information to have. You might come up at a point about 15 years. Oh yeah, I shouldn't give them that.
Sean, are you, okay, so I've got a question about eating in bed, because we have a lot of our guests who choose to eat in bed, eat takeaways in bed. Do you have like a plan, or do you have like a process in which you eat in bed to avoid crumbs? You don't mind crumbs, you like sweep it down, where do you place the plate? Do you have like a little lap tray Matt Crosby has a lovely lap tray.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Splendid.
And his wife as well, they have matching lap trays.
Please tell me you did some investigative journalism here and ask where they kept those lap trays.
Yes.
Can I guess?
Yes, we do.
On top of the fridge.
I remember it being, I think it was just down by the sofa in the living room.
I think it was under a table in the living room.
One of those three places. It wasn't that thorough. Simran was so taken by it. He went and bought a lap tray, didn't you? You were so taken by it. You bought your own one.
I did. I bought it immediately.
Claire and I have an even weirder thing in that you say you come to the decision where you're going to order from. Claire and I will order from separate takeaways most of the time.
No wonder you're in a fucking hotel. It's the most mental thing I've ever heard. This is mad. This podcast is so much madder than it's going to be. It's not my favourite takeaway. I'll come on, I'll go Madras, bar, G's, my stomach's a bit worse than it used to be. So you get different takeaways. You are sick.
Yes, we do, yeah.
I actually said to my friend, I'm not making this up. It sounds like my whole life revolves around takeaway food. I actually said to my friend the other day that when historians, when they look back at when did everything go seriously wrong with the planet, global warming, they're always talking about the point where, the point of no return.
Yes.
In terms of the planet and global warming and all of that. I said the other day that they are going to trace that all the way back to the first couple that got different takeaways on delivery.
Sorry, are you putting me on a par with Chinese industry? What's happening at this point?
Utterly stand by it. Too much, man. Too much. Someone is bringing you food.
Marcel?
That's amazing. It ends there. You're indulging. You're making it. You're ruining it. It's disgusting. Part of the excitement is coming to the decision together as a team of what you're going to have. You're guzzling.
Sean, we're 10 years in. Excitement's a thing of the past. Still come to realise that when you reach a point in your relationship.
Tom is the reason that all these, stop the oil, people jumping in the road and all of that. It's him. They're trying to stop him. That is too much. It's too much.
I do go out of my house to the takeaway bike down the road. I'll cut him off, which you do. He's saving a bit of fuel there.
What do you mean cut him off? Cut him off? Cut him off what?
By like 10 metres or something. I go, stop.
Hey!
Out the planet.
Come on now. You don't need to come any further. Okay.
And I'll see you in half an hour to return my girlfriend's jailbreak. My wife.
Sorry. So Tom, I can only assume because you've got into arguments with your girlfriend and wife over what to order. So, Sean, my question to you then is, do you have disagreements with your partner about what to order and how do you resolve them?
I'm very lucky because I'm a sulky little boy.
How is...
sounded a little seedy. I'm not going to just decide what to say
Say it again. What are you?
So, if I'm running the world and makes 400 grand a year doing that.
What are you?
I'm a bin. Say it. You're a bin. I'm a bin.
Oh my god. Oh dear. Oh.
So, you're a sulky little boy.
I'm a sulky little boy, and I'm a bit fussy. So Grace loves sushi, but I like what I like. There's going to be no kind of rousing.
It's a difficult personality.
Challenging. You both think very polite. It's not quite like it.
So you're very clear about what you like, yeah.
But it's not. It's very. That kind of sounds like that could be quite nice. But actually, it's mainly painful because it means that you can't enjoy anything else apart from the thing you like. So when I do kind of bend for Thai, I'll be eating the Thai, but the whole time I'll just be thinking in a kind of partridge way. That's kind of an ending. I was a Thai, Adam. You might just kind of an ending.
No, I do get that. I tend to think, have you ever had this where you've been thinking about doing your takeaway all day, you're visiting your friend or a family member, and they say they're going to cook? That for me is the greatest heartache of all. Yeah. And it's not going to be as good. I've been thinking about it for takeaway all day. And now Josh Ridlingham's making me a veggie chili. Go about a sour cream and a battle back against this.
Sean, you were earlier saying about there's always more and how profound that is, but also how practical it is because you can eat it when you're hungry. What's your view on leftovers?
So, pardon me, like I said, you save yourself some to go back to. If there's really too much that for some reason I'm not finishing the second time round, I'll do that thing then when I get up at like late at night. I sometimes do this. You go for like a late night wee and just like stop off in the kitchen and have a bargee. I don't know why I wasn't expecting bargee. I was expecting, I don't know, just a little snack.
You freed up space. You think that urine is about the weight of a bargee? I think exactly with a bargee.
I love it, just like stale poppadom. Love it. Been left over. Oh.
Now on that, you haven't ordered poppadoms with this meal. Is there a reason for that? You are a fan of them?
I bloody forgot actually.
Heartbreak.
Grace normally I normally answer the door, and Grace normally orders it. She would have put the poppadoms, so I wouldn't have had to remember that. By the way, I was meant to tell you, I've had to break my curry ban for you.
Why have you got a curry ban? Well, yeah, talk to us about that.
Because last week I had 4 Indian takeaways.
4 Indian takeaways? Are we talking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
So I had 4 in 5 days.
Who imposed the ban, Sean?
Me.
It wasn't the takeaway when you rang up and said, that's enough from us. No way. Go on, mate.
Believe it. I'll be cancelled again, but this time I'm in the restaurant. I believe it.
4 in a week. By the time you get to 3, are you still enjoying it?
We had 2. I went to the same restaurant. The other was a takeaway.
Yeah.
So I said 4 takeaways. What I mean is 4 curries. Sorry, 2 were in the restaurant. So 3 of them were from the same place. It's just that twice I ate in the place, and then the other one I don't know why. Oh yes, Grace made a curry. So I decided I've got to go on a curry ban because it's too much, and I'm beginning to not enjoy it. And this is going down so well, this curry. But I should be honest with you and tell you, I've been dreading this all day. I'm really dreading doing this podcast.
Just to be clear, Sean chose a curry himself. We didn't force him to have this.
Weirdly, for most guests, the food's the one bit they actually look forward to. The rest of it they could do without.
Honestly, I swear on my life, this is awful. I shouldn't be telling you. I didn't plan on telling you this. But when the bell went for my curry, I went, oh, fuck it. I really do not need this curry. I've now had 5 curries in 8 days.
That is absolutely wonderful.
I would love to see the CCTV footage of me taking the containers out of the bag. I'm so depressed. Just going, oh God, why did I get the Sargaloo? I didn't even need to tell them about that. Oh, no.
That's the thing, you had complete control over what you could have ordered.
I just wanted to, I actually at the same time, because I'm such a professional, I wanted to be honest, and that is what I order.
Okay.
You know what I'm like, mate? I'll go on any show.
That was said with such a threatening menace.
Someone came up to me the other day in the green room, doing a gig, and they went, like, what would you turn down? I was like, do you not know about my career? Nothing I would turn down. I evidently do anything. I have no dignity whatsoever.
What would you say, career-wise, is the lowest of things you've taken? What is what you thought? What the hell am I doing?
You calling for some wheels? I'm Johnny on the spot. I'll hook you up.
Top 5.
I'll get there as soon as I can.
Top 5 of the career decisions of my life.
I can't actually even go through, because if I was talking about it in detail, I can't go through even 5 because my laptop's only on 98%. I remember once when I was very young, well, is that very young? I was like 25, but I had a massive show, a massive hit called Shorewall's World on Comedy Central. It kind of changed comedy in the same way, you know, like Lenny Bruce all over again. and I did this show, right? And you know, it's big. Your name is going to be on a show. I mean, you know, who turns that down? I didn't have enough. I look at some of, you know, some really some comedians that people actually respect, and I look at them and I go, they had belief in themselves. They did what they were like, what they wanted to do, and I didn't have that. When I did this show called Shorewall's World, and when we went to film the credits, right, I hadn't seen the show. I had no sense of what the show was. We did the credits before we did the show, and so when we were doing the credits, the man was telling me to do like kung fu in the credits.
Who's the man?
Sorry, the director.
My director. It's important in that situation to just check some credentials first.
Yeah, I'm not the state. I don't mean the state. So that was very bleak. It's very me. And he was getting me to do these kung fu flips and like star jumps and stuff like that. I suddenly dawned on me. It was that moment I realised what I was doing. And I said, sorry guys, do you mind if I just pop to the shop? And I went out and I went to a spa. There was a spa like down the road. I was 25! 2 minutes before I did this, I was doing cartwheel. I went into the spa. I went into the corner of the spa where the milk was, and I cried.
Oh no! Oh, Sean, I didn't expect that.
I was just like, oh God. And like, you think, I've been a bin.
No, to be fair, at that point, you yet to be a bin. That was in your future.
At that point, I could only dream.
Hold on, just rewind a bit. Why did you cry at the fact that you had to do cartwheels?
Because no one fucking envisions themselves doing kung fu kicks in the fucking title sequence of their own fucking show, do they? Did they just go, what? What happened? I could have been, at 25, I was already thinking I could have been a contender.
Do you know what's a bit hurtful, Sean? I did a bit of writing for that. You haven't mentioned me once. Sorry you thought it was so shit. I tried my best. Unbelievable. You just turn up and do a few kicks on the day, get paid £10 an episode. I was on an average day rate, slogging my heart out.
Oh, God.
Colin would have been there crying his eyeballs out, and the other eye in the same shot.
It's on my TV, that job.
Oh, my God.
I remember a real note for me when I was doing an advert audition for Cravendale. Remember Cravendale? And they asked me to, what was it, pull the face of a man who hadn't seen milk in a while. And I don't know how you do that. And I was in this audition just doing stupid faces, and I just...
Pull the face of a man that hadn't seen milk in a while.
That was the director's instruction.
So there's a little problem here, Tom. I don't know if something's wrong with your connection or something. You've not pulled that face for us.
I was just thinking the same thing, Sean.
I don't know if the connection's bad or end or something. Sorry. Oh, fine. So I didn't get the face.
Something like that. Is that right? Sort of like a sad moment. That's a little bit worrying. I don't know, is that right? I don't know. But it was awful. I remember saying under my breath as I was doing the face, oh, the milk. He said, you can't just say it.
You can't just say it.
But anyway.
Oh, Tom. Come on, mate. First rule of writing, show, don't tell.
Let's drag ourselves kicking springs back to the takeaway again.
Back to curry, which I'm very happy about.
So, in general, what sort of takeaway order are you in general? Are you an overall order? Are you what do you like in general?
I've done the thing, I've taken a bite at the wrong...
No, that's alright. That's
sorry.
okay. But you spit it out. You don't need to do that.
No, I had to kind of swallow it. I'm really, yeah. I've got a thing called, I think it's misophobia. And what that is the kind of irrational hatred of the sound of people eating.
Oh.
I then become very self-conscious of me chewing, which is why I had to get away from the mic.
So to avoid hating yourself, you need to eat away from the mic.
There's no avoiding that, mate. if find out way of that, I'll let me know.
Sounds like eating an issue.
If we're eating somewhere where the music is not on, I will have to say, excuse me, sorry, put the music on.
Really?
Really? Which is a very strange, it's a very strange request. Sometimes if you eat with someone around their house, they won't put on music, which drives me fucking insane. And I then can't, when you're around someone's house, you can't say, do you mind putting on some music? So and I really shouldn't be giving away my secrets on this.
So what do you do?
I'll just go, oh God, have you heard that new album? You should hear this. Actually, I'll put it on, but don't worry, I'll put it on quietly. And then I'll just put on some music.
What if you at the buffet table at a wake? Are you going across to the creeping window and say, do you mind if I put on Kasabian? That's an amazing thing.
There has to be a background thing. It just drives me insane.
And is that just a food thing, or would you have that if it's not food? So you can't just sit there having a conversation with someone and then not be music in the background.
No, that's fine. It's
That's fine.
eating. See, my dad didn't have his own teeth, you see. He would eat, he would go like... Oh! And it would sound like that, and so it kind of scarred me and my brother. But he has the same thing as me. We cannot hear people chewing. You see someone get on the train with an apple.
Yeah.
I'm off.
Really?
I was on the train yesterday or the day before, coming back from Blackpool, and a young lady sat across the aisle, the two chairs the other side of me, sorry, the other counter of me, and she had a bag of crisps, and she opened them and put one crunch and I moved carriage.
No, sure, that is so sensitive to that.
That's mesophobia.
That's amazing.
So when you say that, you shouldn't be allowed to eat the quiet carrot? Just a genuine question.
You should be allowed to breathe in the quiet carrot.
Are you okay with people eating on public transport in general?
No. So obviously I've got views on this, but crisps, no. Crisps would be banned on trains. Apples banned on trains. There's mainly crunchy fruit, so apples, pears, you can have a banana, you can probably have an orange. I've realised now that I've really come out as a psychopath on this podcast.
Well, not everyone. You say you can have a banana. My dad hated the smell of banana so much that on a family trip once, my brother was eating banana. We were on a motorway. He wound down the window and hurled it out of the window across the carriageway, free carriageway. Banana. And because it's boomerang shaped, it came back. Couldn't believe it. He hit straight across 3 lanes of traffic.
Oh my
Did
God!
you take the banana out of your brother's mouth and throw it out the window?
My brother had started one to the banana. My dad grabbed it, wound out the window, and went straight out across the motorway.
No way, that is aggressive.
So back to takeaway. Sorry, I keep going. It was my fault. Takeaway.
Well, I had a specific question actually. So, do you have that sort of unusual relationship with sound? That covers, normally we ask, do you have unusual takeaway habits? I think we can tick that off. But what about takeaway disasters? Are there any takeaway disasters any time you've ordered a takeaway and it's gone wrong?
Yes. First of all, little thing, and this is just a kind of starter, so you'll like it. It's Deliveroo needs to get rid of this policy they have where they're allowing their drivers to just have a bicycle. That has got to go.
What do you think they should be travelling in?
If you're just going on a bicycle, then I want a discount.
You're just too slow? What's the worry?
Yeah, what's the problem there?
Well, it's slower, because when you look at the map, the best thing is when the delivery goes it's nearby and it gives you the map, and it's like, right, there's the map, and you look, well, you got a car, you've got a moped, and it kind of whizzes to your house, to your location. And it's very exciting. You're going to watch it. It takes 10 seconds. It's there! Oh, fucking it's there! It's around the corner! Open the door! Get it! It's there. On a bicycle, you just watch that in real time. For that 17 minutes. This prick on a bicycle. He's not using his wages to save up for a moped. Right?
Can I refer you just very briefly to half an hour ago when you said I was solely responsible for global warming? And now you're throwing the very idea of someone travelling without an engine.
The end of humanity began at this point.
No, that has to stop. That's unacceptable.
You know, I think that with the bicycle, I feel assured, rest assured, I feel confident that it will weave through the traffic.
And they can cut through a park.
It's true, they can jump up on curbs and do the whole thing.
Well, yeah.
Jump up on curbs, yeah, they can do it.
Ollie, it's fucking wheeling. They can do that with their hands, mate.
Yeah. They can get on the half-pipe. They can do a 1080.
Come on, don't they? It's not really...
They also need to get rid of, so they need to get rid of the cyclists. And also, this happened to me the other day actually, and I suppose it didn't end in disaster. Eventually got the food, and on this occasion, the temperature was okay. But this thing of the driver has your food and is dropping off someone else's food first. Oh, fuck off then.
God, yeah.
The excitement is, I saw them, I thought you were coming to me, and it's like, and then I found out you're seeing other people. I thought this was just being you. Who the fuck is this guy?
Cycle here as well. Okay, yeah.
It actually has a happy ending, but when you order, I was younger, very, very drunk, order the meal, and then the thing is closed.
Okay.
I ordered too late, but then you wake up in the morning or the afternoon, and I've been woken up by a Chinese.
I actually don't think I've had that happen.
Have you had that? I thought I was going to say that, and you were going to go, oh, we get that all the time.
I think that's the first time that we've had a guest come on and say that they've been woken up by the takeaway order that they placed the day before.
Are you saying it ticks over to the next day? So the staff come into work and they open up their app and they're like, oh, there's an order. Is that what happened?
I can't believe you do a takeaway podcast and you've got. I thought I was being hacked.
No. So what do you think's happening? Because this has blown my mind.
So you order the food, but then it's shut, and then I drunkenly fell asleep, and then I was woken in the afternoon. Open the door. My Chinese was there. They get the order and they cook it first thing.
Wow.
So it actually was the opposite of a disaster. At the time when I discovered it was shut, I was devastated.
But who do they think is doing? Who do they think? I fancy 1 p.m. tomorrow. Chow Mei. I'll get that in. I've got such a busy morning. I can get that. Take that off the to-do list.
I'll order it now, so I don't have to in the morning. I'm a guy that gets things done.
I don't know in line with that. When you go to an Indian restaurant, you open it and it says for this dish, you have to give us 48 hours of notice.
Oh yeah.
Who is doing that? There's like always on most
I've
Indian
never seen
restaurants.
that in my life.
Have you seen this, Simran? There'll be a couple of dishes where you have to read 2 days in advance if you want it.
Well, what is it? Another cuisine? If you want French food, do give us 48 hours.
To learn the trade. Sean, look, here's a question that we ask all of our guests. Oh, take a big bite there.
No, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. What was your go-to? It's 2 a.m. You come back from a night out. What's your go-to takeaway of choice?
Well, obviously, yes, your options are now limited.
Correct.
So I think, no, I'm
doing
afraid
this, huh?
I'm not
The
giving
products
you anything original here, but it will be Ronald.
Oh, actually, we don't often get him. Most people to kebab.
I'm very lucky, actually. I never got into kebabs. I've no interest in kebabs. Disgusting. I just, yeah.
Even good Turkish food, even like nice sheesh or whatever.
I didn't say no to that.
No, just anything Turkish. I would love to do it. No, I think no, because you don't, no, at that time of night, I mean, you're not really, you just want what you know. The Golden Arch is always there for you.
And what is your go-to order then? What's your go-to Ronald order?
Okay, Big Mac meal. Unfortunately, something has happened in age. God, it was awful. The 6 chicken nuggets has gone up to 9.
That's it. Yeah.
So, Big Mac meal, large fries, 9 chicken nuggets as a counter.
Yeah, lovely, lovely.
An apple pie.
Oh, yes. Apple pie.
An apple pie. Again, maybe this is slightly unique, but Grace always thinks this is totally bizarre, is to convince myself that I'm not a total scumbag with this order, and to try and make myself feel that little bit better about the bad thing that I've done, if I have a Buxton top of the wall.
That is exactly the same order as mine, apart from I have the Tropicana orange.
Sure, one thing I did with the apple pie, which I can't remember what said before.
No, it's not.
One more time. Sometimes I squeeze the filling out of the apple pie. I just have the crust bit.
That is bleaker than a 25-year-old boy crying in the corner of a spa.
Is it? Is it?
It really is.
Yeah, that is mad. So you get rid of the apple, which is like the main part of the pie.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And no one's done that. You're the first person who's ever done that.
And I absolutely love it. And what I won't do is scoop up the sort of filling afterwards and shove it back.
Are you doing this at a table, or are you standing at the counter in front of them and taking it out of the bag and squeezing it, staring at the eyes and doing chill?
Throw it out the window, that's it.
I'm now imagining whether you could use that cabinet and put McDonald's things inside, and whether it would be nice. Like when you put fries or chicken nuggets in there, whether that sweet savoury thing would work.
That's disgusting. That'd be absolutely horrific.
That wouldn't work if you're just trying to fill air. That's a hot air. You're just trying to say things. Covered in the batter from an apple pie, obviously wouldn't work. I bloody love a triangle as well. I know that's not necessarily a takeaway, but I bloody love a triangle. Very nice, very fun. I don't prefer it, but I love this stuff. I hope it never changes. I hope they don't try and better it. I like the way it is. I like that you got a little chat with them up top. Hey, yeah, how are you? Yeah. You order it, and then you get to meet them, and you go, oh, there you are. That's what you look like in the Subway to the Horse. That's what you look like in real life. I once, on one of the Glastonbury's that I went to, me and my before I drove, but my friend was feeling very ropey. As you do, as you tend to, when leaving Glastonbury. One of my favourite ever anecdotes. We left Glastonbury, you know, we both feel awful. And so we see those golden arches. It's absolutely, you know, it's like finding heaven. We pull into the drive-thru and, like, can you check your order, please? And we're feeling awful. What do you want? Oh, I'm sorry, good morning. And we told our order, we were so hungover that we drove off. And we forgotten to stop for the food. And about an hour down the motorway went, fuck McDonald's!
I love that.
Do you think the car that came next was given? What do you think happened to that?
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder whether a family got like a double. It's like, no, might as well be paid for.
I'm gonna guess they've never experienced that before. But let's go. So do you reckon those two guys thought they were doing a prank, but did they not pay? Did they pay? They pay. They did pay. They just drove off. What did they shout wank out? No, they were really nice.
Actually, a quick question before we wrap up, and this is about driving and eating. If you got your McDonald's in the drive-thru and you hadn't driven off without it, would you have eaten it in the drive-thru, or would you start driving and be fed it by your passenger? Oh, it really. I've opened up something towards the end of the show. That's not what I do, is it?
I've kind of got to be careful what I say here, but I worked with someone once that was driving us back from the show, and it was very late. We were very far, and we stopped off for a McDonald's, as you do. We were all knackered, and we got our McDonald's, and me and Jake Lambert, we just heard this. Sorry guys, and we like turn around, and he's like, do you mind if I just eat my McDonald's here? And I've never hated someone so much in my entire life. I couldn't, and we couldn't be rude. You just had to go, oh yeah, of course. And it's like, you're not using fucking chopsticks. You just stuff food in your mouth whilst you can't drive and eat McDonald's. What are you talking about? I now drive, and I text Jake Bramlett the other day and said, now that I drive, I think that is even more mental. You just stuff your face with a burger and you drive. Who can't drive? If you can't drive and eat McDonald's, you shouldn't be behind the wheel.
You think you should be passed the test?
I think it should absolutely. And if you're somebody who goes, I'm not up to it, well then don't get the fucking car. Stay well away from this car and other passengers and human beings. You are dangerous.
It's an emergency stop and a one-handed bike. That's
Totally.
So, Sean, have you come to the end of your meal, or have you still got some left?
Do you know what? I've got a bit of naan left, but I've also got my leftovers that I've got inside. Sorry, I say inside. I'm not eating this from the garden.
I'm not sticking to the house now. We're taking the garden.
But I've run out of sauce. The naan needs to be in sauce, so that's what.
Well, before you go, just tell us where your food is from. Take us very briefly what you think of the dishes and when you recommend it.
So Raj of India on Shepherd's Road, wonderful people have been there for a long time, and also the building is really lovely. There's no other building like it on Shepherd's Road. They kind of made it look like a mini temple. I don't know the words. I'm afraid I don't have the words to articulate what that looks like. You're just gonna have to Google it. You'll see. You go, oh yeah, that does look a bit different. I wouldn't expect to see
How many is it? Controlling your hand with it. Cat flap on the floor. Beautiful food, very uncomfortable. Okay, so it's a tiny temple.
That's a Raj of India. They're fantastic. It's really lovely, and it's what I love about it is it's traditional kind of Indian takeaway, like kind of British Indian takeaway. So it's it's your chicken madrasas, it's your jalfrezis, it's your boonas. Because now, obviously, street food stuff. And sometimes you go to these places and you say chicken madrasa and they don't have it. But Raj of India is just old school. And I really love that about it. I'm sorry, it wasn't open today, but in terms of like the more kind of trendy Indian street food, there's a lovely little place called Patry on Hammersmith Road, and that's a bit more trendy, a lot more kind of beats.
You're through to your garage. You need me to bring you a ride?
In there are wonderful. Like they come out and they tell you about the food.
I'll bring it to you.
And he's tested the food, and his parents owned an Indian restaurant. What I love about Patry is they really care. It's my favourite kind of snazzy Indian. I prefer it over Dishoom. Dishoom's very trendy, but Patry I prefer over Dishoom. And then Raj of India if you just want your classic British standard stuff. But they're both amazing.
Well, Sean, that's been an absolute joy. I can say that's genuinely one of my favourite episodes we've done.
Yeah, that was really fun.
And as well as being one of my favourite, I did not expect today when the door buzzed and I had to eat yet another fucking. this was going to be one of my favourite all-time podcasts. It's been a lot of fun.
It was really fun, Sean. Thank you so much.
You have a new listener as well. It's great.
You can contact the show on Twitter at @FaveTakeawayPod or Instagram on My Favourite Takeaway Podcast. You can email us with your stories of takeaway, woes, gripes, and worries on hello@myfavouriteTakeawayPodcast.com.
That was an absolutely great record. I love talking to Sean, and I will never ever say I'm over my food again.
Cut to next week's episode.
That's it. That's my main learning.
Your main takeaway, you could say, from that episode. Sean, as I say, what an absolute joy to chat to him. Do go and check him out on tour. And before you go, just one other thing I want to briefly mention. I have a new podcast with the brilliant comedian Ellis James and the fantastic podcaster Chris Scull. Oh, what a time. Oh, what a time. If you want to check it out, I would love that. Please do. Enjoy the show. Hopefully you enjoy that one too. So do check out Oh, What a Time. Available wherever you get your podcasts. And next week we have another fantastic guest heading your way. So do come back for another help. My favourite takeaway. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, and welcome to my second takeaway episode for people who love food and can't always be bothered cooking. I am, as always, I have been since Series 1, Tom Craig, and the person opposite me is the same man he's always been, and I'm delighted about that. He's a great man, it's Simran Shah.
Thanks, Tom. I'm actually on your side rather than opposite.
Let us know. If we're recording. Big Spoon? Let's knuckle down into that. Who would be Big Spoon, who would be Small Spoon?
I actually think I would be Big Spoon.
Yeah.
Holding on to you with the neediness of a small spoon.
I like that. Welcome to the show. Simran, as always, we've had brilliant messages from our fantastic listeners, haven't we? Emails, Instagram messages, tweets, no actual letters, but we have had those three, and one of them has caught your eye.
One email from Dan Odell. He said, "Hi Tom and Sim, I need to know whether it is me that is wrong." The first sentence.
Immediately my favourite first sentence to an email we've ever received.
He said, "I'm in a band and we quite regularly order takeout while we're at rehearsal. Mackey's is a regular go-to. However, my three bandmates order something I find incredibly strange. As with most McDonald's orders, we tend to buy burgers, fries, drinks. All three of my bandmates choose to eat all of their fries, followed by their burger. Or order their burger first and then order their fries. So,
Right.
from Dan's point of view, this is weird because he said surely the right thing is to eat a burger, have a few fries, back for a burger, back for more fries, little bite, it's swapping, right?
It's sale day.
From one
Okay,
to the other.
we're throwing
But
this
Dan
stuff
would
out
know,
with the trash.
Am I the weird one?
Pick up the
In other
product
words,
and get it to
is
the
it me
drops.
that's wrong?
That is such a good email and such a good question. That's really interesting. Like, even when you were talking about that, I was sort of doing a bit of a mind to work out how I eat. What would I do? I'd start with a third of my chips. Let's just really get down into the maths of this, okay? A third of my chips. Then I'd move on to the burger. I'd have 2 much of the burger, and then have another third of my chips. Then I'd probably finish the burger and end with the chips if I've still got room. That's my technique. Dipping along the way, dipping the burger and the chips. Everything's getting dipped. What about you?
I'm the same. And I'll tell you what happens though, one casualty of this approach, and the casualty lies inside the dip. Because if you're enthusiastically dipping your fries into the dip,
Yep.
sometimes a loose fry stays in the dip, whilst the rest of them go in your mouth. So now you've got, yeah, so you've now got 1 or 2 fries floating in your ketchup. And then when you dip the burger into the ketchup, you're not getting as much because the fries is in there. And the more you do that, the more you pile your condiment with the chips, which is what you don't want to do. So that's
With one potato lattice.
yeah, that I think that
Prevent you from getting to the dip.
that's one pretty niche consequence of that approach.
No, but I do get that. Another thing that comes to mind in this, which is actually something that comes up in this episode today, our brilliant guest, Lauren Mayfield, she talks about saving the best final bite she can when she's eating a meal. If you're eating a burger and fries, Simran, what is the final bite there? What is your final bite?
Well, the final burger,
Fries, or you're sticking the tongue in a dip, you're eating pure ketchup.
I think my final most satisfying mouthful will have to be from the burger, not the fries. But it could be from the little bits of fries that I left over at the bottom of the packet that I scooped into my mouth like I would with crisps.
Oh really? You don't do that. You'll tap the end of a McDonald's bag and tip it into your mouth.
Not the whole bag. Not the whole
Okay,
bag.
right.
That's
Okay.
Actually, do I do that?
Wait a minute. I just realised this is one of the great pleasures in life is finishing McDonald's or any burger and chip. You think you're finished, you go chuck away your bag, you look in the outer brown and there's 3 or 4 errant fries that are stuck away in there. What a feeling. What a treat. What better than that? Possibly having children, maybe skydiving, but apart from those two. So I'm quite curious about this. Let's find out if Dan O'Dell, our kind listener, emailed the show a load of this. How do you eat your burger and fries? Are you going for one, for the other? Are you eating all the fries and then just the burger? Are you having the burger and then the fries? Or is there some insane approach that we haven't considered? You can email the show, on hello@myfavouriteTakeawayPodcast.com, or you can follow us on Instagram, which is myfavouriteTakeawayPodcast, and DM us there. And today, we have a brilliant guest who gets into the nitty-gritty of all these sort of things. Who is it this week, Tim?
This week, our wonderful guest is Lauren Mayfield, Capital Radio DJ. She's here on an early breakfast show between 4 to 6 a.m. every weekday. She has to get up at about 2 a.m. to get that. That's a pretty tough shift. And her debut young adult book, Indie Ray, is totally faking it. It's actually out at the end of this month.
I love this chat. Laura's a real laugh and properly got into the spirit of the show. If you're a regular listener, you will absolutely love this record.
Lauren, thank you so much for joining us. I actually can see a cat in the background, which I didn't notice before.
You think it was a cat, it's actually a dog.
It's normally about 10 minutes before someone makes a huge mistake like that in a podcast, but Simran's opening line is mistaking a cat for a dog. That's amazing.
It's a really good start, so I'm really good. Mrs. Bucky, she heard that there was going to be food involved, so she was straight up here, but she heard the chicken arriving.
Can I just say that now that your dog is facing the camera, it is quite obviously an identifiable dog. So,
don't try and backtrack, it's too late. The damage is done, mate.
damage is done. Lauren, you've also got not just a dog next to you, but a takeaway, haven't you? What did you buy?
See, I mean, I'll be honest, boys, it was a really hard choice. I actually got out my Deliveroo app and sort of went through all of the cuisines at the top there, because I thought, choose wisely, you know, you've got an opportunity here to get it for free.
Before you tell us what it is, what didn't make the cut?
You know what, I love now about living in a city. I've lived in lots of cities now. I've lived in Leeds, I've lived in Manchester, London, and now I live in St Albans. And I think the beauty of living in a city is the variety of choice. So you're now getting things like, you can have a Lebanese if you want. You can have a Mexican. Whereas when I was growing up, it was literally like fish and chips or Mackies. There was 3 options, right?
Well, for our listeners, I want them to bear in mind that Lauren had the whole world at her fingertips in terms of what she could have ordered. And what did you go for?
I went for a KFC, everybody!
Oh, I love that. Why bother going with everything else when you can get something that is just finger-licking good, you know what I mean?
Exactly, and
Absolutely.
This is the bone of contention in my house every single weekend.
The chicken bone of contention.
The actual chicken fever of contention. We have an argument about this every single weekend, saying there is so much you could choose from. Are we really going to get a KFC again? And the answer to that is absolutely yes.
We actually asked this question towards the end, which is what's your ultimate KFC order or your ultimate McDonald's order or Dominic Pizza? So actually, I think we should ask that question right at the top. I want you to rip open that bag and tell us what the fuck is inside it.
Oh, it's a satisfyingly huge bag as well. Look at the size of that KFC bag. It's massive.
Look at the size of that. The bargain bucket, everybody, there it is.
Oh, you've gone for the full bucket. See, I love a KFC, but I've never ordered the bucket.
Are you clinically insane? What's wrong with you?
It feels too much. Before you talk to us about this, can we just address the key question here? Is it alright to buy food that's served in a bucket? What is the feeling about that? If you went to a nice Chinese restaurant, they had got your food served on a plate or in a bucket.
Bring your own bucket at a Chinese restaurant. Is it bad?
That's an idea.
BYOP. The sign remains the same.
Talk about signs. I just noticed that bucket. Yes, the branding on that is so
iconic.
It's simple. It's just 2 red stripes and the Colonel's face. That's it.
Did you see this recently, by the way, on Twitter? Everyone was saying that they've only recently discovered that that's the Colonel's tie around his neck. It's not his little body.
I did think it was a tie rather than his little body. I've got to say,
I didn't think it was a tie. I thought it was maybe like a little bit of lace, a bit of,
Yeah, sure, yeah. But I didn't think it was his tiny body.
I thought it was his little body for years.
No.
I think for years. I thought that's the Colonel's little body. They spent so much time on the face, they just got a bit fed up by the end and thought we'll do a little stick section.
I'm sorry. If you were a colonel in the army, you were not commanding the respect of your forces. There's no way anyone's going into war behind that man.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
This is our 4th series. That's the most insane thing anyone said.
It was honestly like when it came up on Twitter, I finally went, wow, I'm not alone. There's actually thousands of people people out there who thought the exact same thing, which was
Oh, that's very funny.
a revelation, boys. It was a real revelation. And going back to the bucket, though, I think the smell of the paper and the cardboard in there only adds to the delight of the KFC. It doesn't take away from it. It enhances. It smells great.
And what do you get in the bucket?
Well, going back to what you said earlier, Tom, it is plentiful, which is good and bad. So in mine, I've got 6 pieces of chicken,
Right.
which I think is a good amount of chicken.
And what sort of pieces are they? Like the classic?
Skillet.
Are we talking drumsticks or thighs? And also,
so.
a question we've never had on the podcast. Would you prefer drumsticks or thighs?
So, thigh every day. If it could just be a bucket of thighs, and I'm going to be honest, I'm a big advocate of the KFC, but I do have issues with it. I think there's certain elements that could be ironed out, and I would love this opportunity on this podcast to put those concerns to KFC.
We will absolutely get to those.
Great.
Yeah. You know, I think it's a real treat. I agree with you. Thighs over drumsticks, and then a boneless thigh.
Oh, that's a real treat. But you don't get to, there's no bone, this is full bone.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can see you picking it.
Yeah. Okay, what we've got here is got chips on top.
The dog is encroaching.
Yeah, she needs to back off. We've got chips on top in a bag. As you can see, they're going soggy.
That is quite, that's mainly greasy, I'd say. That's more grease than brown paper.
And that all makes it beautiful. And then inside out, I've got 1, 2, 3. Whoa, hang on a second. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Wow. We've got 5 thighs, just 1 drumstick.
That's a good ratio. By the way, we encourage you to eat it.
You go.
Don't feel shy.
I'm going to go for this little one. Cream.
Do you dip your thighs into yes, gravy? So I'm obsessed with dips. I have to have a condiment with fried chicken. Gravy I love, but I also in general, I'm not a fan of the supercharger one from KFC.
No.
Is it from that KFC? Yeah. What's the supercharger one? I can't quite work it out. Some sriracha type thing. Awful.
Yeah, here's my problem. I'm quite embarrassed about the gravy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. The word gravy makes me feel a little bit embarrassed. Maybe it's sort of considered like a common kind of dip.
You whisper it when you order it.
Yeah.
A bucket of chicken, large fries. And I say, what's that, madam? Because the gravy feels like it doesn't belong with like fried chicken and chips. Is it because we think in British culture gravy basically just belongs in a Sunday roast?
I think that's exactly it. Growing up, we've been fans of the Colonel for many years. And growing up, gravy was never on the order. And it was only a mate of mine a few years ago who said, have you had gravy? I said, no, that's unhinged. You can't have gravy on chips and chicken. What are you talking about? And then, oh my God, it's so good. Oh, let's get in it. It's so good. I've tried to recreate it at home, but as we all know, it can't be done.
The only problem with the KFC delivery with the gravy is that 70% of the time the gravy is spilt everywhere in the box. That's my problem. That little lid is not strong enough. It doesn't stay on. No, it doesn't sucker on enough, and it's just constantly covered my food when I've ordered.
Again, got a few issues with KFC that I think that they could address to heighten this experience even more. And I think you're right, like a seal would be quite nice. A little seal around the outside.
I know someone, I'm not going to name names, actually they're actually a famous person, who orders a second gravy to just has it as a hot taster, like a bomb roll.
I was thrilled when this arrived because this is a big boy.
Lauren, I'm not going to lie, that is just actually insane.
Right, look at that. So, when I get a little one, sometimes I don't dip enough, and sometimes I drain the bottom of that. Now today, we have got essentially an extra Rolex on the go here, haven't we? Like, that's ready to rumble, isn't it?
I tell you what though, I think KFC gravy has about 45 minutes to an hour lifespan. I think as soon as it starts getting even a little cold, one of the elements has to be warm, and if it starts to get a little congealed, you're out.
That's a fine line between a liquid or a gel.
Yeah, for sure.
We're really on the cusp there already, and that's only been delivered 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's a race against time really to get the full flavour.
Chug.
That's why you're famous person today. We have to find out later. We'll only tug it. It's because we know that it's going to go. I wonder if it would do that thing that we talked about this in the show before, that if you've ever put sweet and sour sauce in the fridge and left it overnight, the next morning it'll be like a solid block.
Yeah, paste.
Like a paste. It's really weird.
Even more than a paste. You can put it on your walls. There's like some plaster.
You say it's that weird. It's not that weird with pure sugar caramel. It's just infinite and it goes on.
Can I ask you a quick question? Just intrigued how you were feeling emotionally at the point you were feeding the dregs and gravy to your dog. So how did that make you feel at that point?
There's happiness for her.
Okay, yeah.
And there's envy for me. Like, every element of my body wants to have it for myself. And she knows the pot as well now. Like, she knows exactly what that is. Oh, look at that. Yeah, look at that.
Lovingly and adorably.
Yeah. And this is the problem. She's my baby, so, you know, I want her to enjoy the best of life. And for me, Jill's gravy is the best of life.
Well, you talk about enjoy the best of life. Where do you think out of the leading fast food takeaways you enjoy the best of chips? Because I think the KFC is probably up there. I think McDonald's are the best, personally.
Yeah, McDonald's have never messed around, have they? They've always known they've been to a good thing. I think the only time McDonald's really let themselves down is get it in a drive-through car park and they've not salted them properly.
Yeah.
That can be an issue.
Yes, that is a really good point. You don't get a sachet of salt ever with McDonald's. No. You do get it with Burger King, and I think maybe you get it with KFC, but
yeah,
the arrogance of McDonald's thinking they just apply the perfect level of seasoning every time.
Well, that's just McDonald's all over, isn't it? That's just them all over. Arrogant is the word. And they don't always get it right. So we had a really great McDonald's at our university town, and it was on a roundabout, and it was absolute perfection. And then the one in Manchester, absolute bag of balls. So I just think...
Bag of balls, the other thing KFC does. Alright? Fucking a wig, bag of balls.
But don't get kimchi as well sometimes.
I got a drive-through McDonald's at a service station on the M4. It was when we went off back onto the motorway, I opened it, and the burger was an absolute steak. Like, they hadn't cared at all. And then I started thinking, they're running in a drive-through by a motorway. Do they know that as soon as people have left and are back on the motorway, they're not going to turn back? They're trapped in a one-way system. There's nothing they can do, but they don't really need to care.
I fully agree with that. I think I get my most sad if I open up a McDonald's burger and the top bun just slides right off and there's nothing sticking it to the patty.
Yeah.
You think, they've really not given a shit in that one, have they?
They've lost the passion, I'll be honest.
It needs a bit of purchase to keep it all together.
There's too many people complaining about the seasoning. That's it. And if you get through, that's a thigh.
I've gone for it's actually a bit of a wing situation now, I think, for him.
And what do you do with your burgers?
I'm just currently dropping them aside, get them out of the way.
Okay.
And I must admit, it's a bit macabre, isn't it, the KFC? Like, you do feel sort of a little bit caveman about it all, just sort of ripping flesh off of bones and shoving it back out with your bare hands. Do you know what I mean? But
absolutely.
There's no good way to do the KFC. If you're going to get out of life report, get in the bin. That is now right. Just go in for it.
There is something slightly Neanderthal about taking your bone out of your mouth. It's all brimstone.
Yeah. And also, I want to pick that bone clean as well. I don't want to leave any remnant. Like, almost another half, you want to leave a bit of chicken on the side. What you doing?
Pathetic. He's pathetic.
Although, to be fair to Neanderthal man, he would be eating just one chicken rather than parts of 8 different chickens. Which is what happens when you're... At least they were beak to foot in the way that they ate. They finished the whole thing.
Feathers on, they were going. The thing was still moving.
Just in case there aren't